Hey everyone, so today is day 24 and today I'm going to talk about beliefs and why we choose to believe some beliefs and not believe other beliefs. So in reality I'm talking about our criteria for truth. So just looking at Wikipedia here, I've gone to their entry called Criteria of Truth, and it lists a number of ways that we assess truth and allow beliefs into our belief system. It says criteria of truth or tests of truth are standards and rules used to judge the accuracy of statements and claims. So I'll just review a few of these and just give some thoughts about these. And principally I'm just suggesting we should always think about what it is that we're using when we permit a belief into our belief system. And I think I've said previously in some of these videos that we should hold our beliefs lightly. They have the potential to divide, and they have the potential to lead us in the wrong direction. So we always should be careful with our beliefs due to those reasons. Not that we shouldn't seek good beliefs, but we should just hold them lightly. So the first one that this Wikipedia page mentions is authority. So it's suggesting that some of our beliefs we hold because an authority figure has told us that belief. And due to that, we think, oh, it's true. We should believe that. I believe that because my ruler told me. The king said it, maybe people in the past might have said. But similarly, I guess we've got governments and they tell us things, and often we believe because they tell us them, which may or may not be a good thing to do, but let's just be careful and be aware of whether that is why we would believe something or not. Another criterion of truth is coherence. So this is something I came across when I did philosophy at university. And this theory of belief suggests that we have webs of belief and that beliefs get brought into our web if they are consistent and coherent with the beliefs that are already in the web. Whereas if they're not consistent or coherent with those beliefs, then we reject them. So we in effect are building a web of consistent and coherent beliefs throughout our lives. And that's really what forms, our criterion of truth. Okay. And I like this as a general principle of how we collect beliefs in our lives. I think that seems quite logical and sensible. But the slight problem with this is, what is the basis of the web? Like, what is this fundamental intrinsic part at the center? And simply, what was the first belief that the new beliefs had to be consistent with? So again, we have to be careful here. Other criterions of truth are custom. We've always believed it, so we'll continue to believe it. Certainly societies have, societal beliefs that have become the norm. And then no one questions or looks into the backing for. It's just always been that way. Majority rule is another one that is mentioned on this Wikipedia page. Everybody else believes it, so therefore I believe it. Another one that I guess, could be good or bad. The majority might have worked out the right thing to do, but then again, the majority isn't always right. So that shouldn't really be the only thing that we bring in believing whether something's true or not. I'll just mention a couple of others that we don't often give a lot of credence to, and maybe we should give more credence to in our lives. One is instinct, and closely related to it is intuition. I think there is a knowing within us that is worth trusting. and worth learning how to trust. Um, and I think often we get disconnected from this aspect of ourselves, but potentially there is a knowing within us that can guide us in a stronger way. And another one is revelation, you know, again, closely related, but is there revelation from beyond, you know, from something higher and bigger, a consciousness beyond us, but also a consciousness with which we're connected, which can reveal to us truth. I think there's a quote that talks about consciousness knows, and then therefore there's no need for belief. So if we can come to that place of knowing, that is even separate from belief. Anyway, I'll leave those different criteria of truth with you. And all I'm suggesting is that we each search out and consider what criteria we use, so that we can learn which are more reliable, and which are more useful in forming the beliefs that we hold. So yeah, it's just simply food for thought, and something just to consider as we go from day to day, and as we're presented with things to believe or not in our lives. So again, thanks a lot for listening. Take care.